Our next subject is smoking. And anybody who's given up smoking says how difficult it is, and Paul McKenna believes he can make it easier for you and make it last forever. So we'll talk about that next here on your favourite local radio station. We're live from his home today. And now I want to talk about your new TV show, Paul, because you've got this show on Sky One, which is happening at the end of the year. And you want our listeners to basically call in and email and let you know about their problems, and you'll help them out. We're going to give those details out in a moment from now. But first, about the series, are you basically going to life coach people, help them with the subjects we've discussed today and others, of course, and follow them over a certain period and see if your advice works long term?
Yeah, it will be tracking some people over a period of months, so we can see the change taking place. I mean, I would say that not everything I do works for everyone every time. We have a saying, anyone who says they have 100% success rate doesn't have enough clients. But I try and make it so that what I do works for most of the people most of the time. And, I have a very high personal standards. I am a perfectionist, and I probably drive everyone mad with my perfectionist ideals. But this Sky show is very exciting to me. We've had all kinds of makeover shows. We've had gardening shows, cookery shows, all sorts of makeover type shows. This is a psychological makeover. This is like extreme makeover. Jim will fix it, and a hypnotist all in one, So people will say, I just can't stop stuttering. And we'll explore a little bit of their life, as a stutterer. And then I will remove the stutter, and we'll see them go to the pub and order some drinks, go to a meeting at work and talk to all of their comrades, in a very confident way. Or we'll take somebody who, say, is scared of flying, scared of heights, and, we'll see how it inhibits their life and how they can't, travel to see their relatives. And to cure them, we'll come up with something dramatic. I'll take them up in an RAF Hercules and open the back door at 5,000 feet, and they'll stand on the back door there and go, I'm not scared anymore, or something like that. And some of the things will be really simple, quick changes done in the street, I'm on my way to, to a date, and I'm just a little bit nervous before I'd go, okay, hey, wait, stop. Boom, 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 boom. How you feeling? Hey, yeah, I'm feeling like George Clooney. I can't wait together, that kind of thing. We're going to take people with all kinds of problems, things like, weird and bizarre phobias, but also everyday kind of phobias. We'll take people who have got problems like body dysmorphia is an interesting one. People who can't look at themselves in the mirror because they hate themselves and not see that inner beauty that we all have. And we'll make it so that very quickly they go, do you know what? I am beautiful. I can do the things I want to do. Or we'll take, say, someone who's an insomniac who can't sleep, and I'll make it so that they're able to get better and better sleep. Or maybe a family of smokers that can't quit smoking, and we'll do our best to see if I can help them to achieve that. I'll take people that are having panic attacks, or someone who's got maybe writer's block and can't write anything, hasn't written a decent song for years, and boom, I'll make it so suddenly they're writing great material again. So I don't mind, the weirder, the wackier, the more wild the problems are, and also the more mixed in amongst that everyday kind of problems. We're going to take those people and we're going to show their story on screen so that people at home feel inspired when they watch this. But equally, people at home also can get an insight how they can improve their lives too.
Okay, here we go then. 0207 659 2770 is the telephone number. I've got an email address as well for you in a moment. 0207 659 2770. We'll give it again at the end of the programme. If you want to email to request to be on Paul's brand new show, it's coming out at the end of the year, Paul McKenna at tigeraspect.co.uk. Paul McKenna at tigeraspect.co.uk or 0207 659 2770. We'll give you all that information again at the end of the programme. Something you were saying there, you mentioned stuttering.
Yeah.
Now that's fascinating because that's not a physical thing. That's something that I presume you couldn't just change. So that's psychological then, is it?
It's a bit of both, actually, Alex. People who stutter don't breathe in the same way that people who speak normally do. It's a number of things, but that's really at the base of it. What people who stutter do is they breathe all the way out, forget to breathe. I mean, try it now, just go, breathe out, and then try and talk, and you feel like you want to stutter. So what I do is I get people to surf the breath because when you've got that surf going on, it's very easy to speak continuously without, seemingly having to stop for long. And in addition to that, people who stutter also have linked to lots of fear to the idea of stuttering, so it becomes inevitably a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I teach them the appropriate breathing patterns. I also show them how they can overcome it by creating more confidence. And I do it really quickly. I did a stutterer the other day, and this this guy, he's about 80% better. He still stutters a little bit, but 80% improvement, and it took me an hour. And so these people that go to the society where they have to spend a year, I say, forget that. There is, it's very nice, these well-intentioned people who want to help you. This is all lovely, but there are techniques now that can help you significantly reduce your stuttering in a very short space of time.
Right, let's move on to smoking now. This is a big contention for me, A, because I can't understand why people smoke. To me, it's revolting. The health facts are proven. There's no question it's bad for you. I can't understand why people do it, but they do. And like my mother, I've begged her and pleaded for her to stop smoking, but she won't. Is it like anything? If they don't want to, you can't change that.
Yeah, that's right. They do have to want to. The reason that people smoke is it gives quite a powerful change in feelings. When someone smokes a cigarette, they get a release of endorphins, the body's natural opiates. Now, there are a lot of good ways to get endorphins outside of smoking. Physical exercise does that. Anything, highly pleasurable. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Gives you a release of endorphins. But also, appreciating nice things. A beautiful summer's day when you're walking down the street, you feel so good. You're getting a little release of endorphins there. So smokers have really used cigarettes to give themselves artificial highs from the crude chemicals in a cigarette, often to control their stress. It's just a really crude stress control mechanism. Now, I don't have any moral stance on this. I think if people want to smoke, it should be their own business. If people want to eat mud, it should be their own business. I'm not on some crusade to stop people. However, I have to say that I agree with you. There are serious health risks with smoking. I don't consider it a very sensible, functional choice. But, we all do things from time to time that are not that sensible. I tried smoking when I was about 12 years old behind the bike sheds and coughed and spluttered and thought, good God, this is awful. Even though I want to be like the other tough guys in the school, I don't think I'll be doing that. So it doesn't appeal to me, but I can see why people do it. And increasingly, people want to stop, and I'm quite happy to help people stop. I mean, sometimes people have asked me to help them to quit, say, alcohol, or some people say, I just want to be able to have one drink and stop. And so again, I don't bring any moral judgment to it. I help them do just as much as they want to. So I see my job as a facilitator, really. I couldn't do something I felt morally opposed to. I think it would be difficult to do that. In fact, impossible, really, for me. But if people want to smoke, I think it's their own business. However, if they want to quit, I've got some very good techniques to help them.
The interesting thing about smoking to me is that I've read a lot of research about how addictive it is, and there is some contradiction about that.
Well, there's two things. There is definitely a physiological addiction. There is no doubt about that. And the cravings are simply this. If you've been telling your body to release endorphins through chemicals, and then suddenly you take that chemical messenger away, when a situation that you'd normally get your endorphin release from a cigarette for, like, say, just a meeting where you want to calm yourself down, or an argument, or a moment when you're bored, or if you use cigarettes to reward yourself after you've done something, and suddenly you don't have that, your body's going to be going into a sort of you're going to feel cranky, you're going to go into a craving mode, because the endorphins will be sitting around in your bloodstream looking at their watches going, well, we haven't had the signal yet. Every day has its emotional ups and downs. Some things make us tense, some get us bored, some relax, some all kinds of different things. And cigarettes take the kind of peaks and the troughs off our experience. Yeah, and it's a case of us getting artificial highs and lifts from cigarettes. And when we take that away, suddenly that cushion to our emotions and to life is removed. And so it feels a little bit weird at first. And what the hypnotist or the modern psychologist can do is reduce that so there isn't a craving. And so you feel so relaxed without cigarettes. And then the rest is up to you. You can also put a little bit of aversion in there too. You can get somebody to think of things they don't like and link that to cigarettes. And that's probably a good idea. It's not that I think necessarily if I think about smoking of the Marlboro cowboy, because some people do, and they think, yeah, tough guy, rugged. Well, I don't think to myself that the guy died of lung cancer and hold that idea strongly in my mind. One of the reasons that people that are heavy smokers find it difficult to quit, even though their doctor tells them, is because they've used cigarettes to calm themselves down. And then, they see all these ads on TV, or for example, the packaging now that says smoking kills you. And they go, God, this is going to kill me. I better have a cigarette to calm down because I'm freaking out. The cigarette companies are really cynical about this. They know that, oh yes, we'll put warnings on our cigarettes because they know it's going to make the poor smokers smoke more, and they're not bad people, they're not wrong. I don't think that they're wrong. They're just using cigarettes as a crutch to help them, through those stressful times.
Problem is with smoking and stopping smoking, of course, is they'll need you again, because with most people who I've met who have stopped, they then get fat because they start eating stuff, so they're going to need you again.
Well, this is something that the cigarette companies have been very happy to let everyone know about, is if you quit smoking, you might put on weight. Now, if you quit smoking without some kind of assistance, particularly some kind of psychological assistance like hypnosis, which incidentally is proven to be the single most effective way of quitting smoking in the world, then if you just do it with willpower, there is a chance that you might try and control your feelings with food as opposed to cigarettes. But if you go to the cause rather than the symptoms, and you get your emotions under greater control through psychological techniques like hypnosis and NLP, then you won't put on the weight. The vast majority of people that quit smoking using my system do not put on weight.
This isn't just you making money, is it? You're serious that you really can help people?
Well, I am making money. Yes, I'm quite happy about that and proud of it. And I suggest that everyone else does too. The Change Your Life book has a section on how to increase your wealth. And I would say not a week goes by without somebody walking up to me in the street going, I've doubled my earnings since I read your silly book. And I go, well, I'm not surprised, because the principles in it are very, very simple. If you read a chapter a day, because it's 7 chapters, 7 days, and there's a CD that comes with it, your mind will start to get focused on how you can make more money. And you will be more confident, more motivated, more optimistic, and ultimately more successful. I believe that success and happiness are not accidents that sort of randomly happen to some people and not to others. Success and happiness are created through certain ways of thinking and acting. And when people say, but how can you change your life in 7 days? I go, look, your life can change in a moment. We've all had the experience of meeting a particular person, or having a particular event occur, and in that moment our life changed. Well, if you do these things, very simple things, over the course of 7 days, I can guarantee you do anything for 7 days, you're going to be different. But if you do the things I'm suggesting, you'll be significantly different and for the better. The I Can Make You Thin book, well, this is the current #1 bestseller in the UK. I'm very proud of this. It has the most extraordinary success rate. Diets don't work. Diets work for less than 10% of people. More than 91% of people fail at dieting. And you know what they do? They think, it was my fault because I'm rubbish, because I didn't have any willpower. No, you are going against the way you are biologically programmed as a human being. Diets are a con. Diets don't work because they get you to starve yourself, yes? And you have to go along to the little weight loss group that you belong to and step on the scales of shame, don't you? And be made to feel wrong for it. And I tell you, it makes me mad. If it just didn't work, that would be bad enough. But 30% of dieters actually end up larger after they come off the diet than before they started it. So what I say to people is, forget about dieting forever. If you want to lose weight and keep the weight off, the only way you are going to do that is if you change your relationship to food. If you change how you represent food in your brain. Weight loss is a behavioral change issue, and that is what I do. And my system has been independently investigated, and the findings are astounding. 71% of the people on my system that took part, were part of the study, lost weight. 71%, and kept it off. When I did the other day, Richard and Judy got together a group of people for me, and we put them through my system. 90% of them lost weight. So I know that my system works. It works really well. It works better than anything else in the world right now. I'm very proud of it. And I'm very passionate, not just for commercial reasons. I've made it for those reasons, but also because I see that people keep getting tricked into doing diets, failing, and thinking badly of themselves. And if you want to end that, try my system. It's out there. It's in all the bookshops now. It's all the good bookshops. So if you go into a bookshop and they don't have it, it's a bad bookshop.
Okay, so put your knife and fork down.
Yeah.
And listen to your body. When you've had enough, you've had enough.
Yeah. Well, slow your eating speed down. The gist of the system's simple. When you're hungry, go and eat. Never starve yourself. Have what you want, not what you think you should. When you eat, always eat consciously. Put your knife and fork down. Really chew each mouthful about 20 times. And not slowly, just really taste it. And then when you even suspect you're full, stop. You start doing that, the weight will start coming off.